change the paradigm of healthcare.
The Green Nurse is a holistic cannabis nurse that teaches on the endocannabinoid system and the safe utilization of cannabis and other progressive tools to help people reach a better quality of life.
I'm the founder of Holistic Caring. We're based here in California, and we do educational programs and case management for patients on how to use cannabis therapeutically as a medicine.
We're also here to decrease stigma around what it means to feel good and be high, hence the H for hope, I for inspiration, G for growth, and H for healing.
As the founder of Holistic Caring, I basically oversee the whole ship, and what we're doing is progressive education.
Cannabis actually supports all 11 organ systems, our immune system, and all the neurotransmitter signaling systems that give messages to tell our body to either do something or not do something. Because the plant was prohibited, it prevented health professionals, doctors and nurses from learning about cannabis as medicine.
I want to change the paradigm of healthcare and us paving the way into a new vanguard of medicine. And I'm excited to really bring this into light. There's a company called Cannabis that we're merging with, and we will now be doing global education.
It's about education, it's about empowerment, it's about teaching people how to feel good, bridging the gap from what they're not getting from traditional medicine, utilizing different plant medicines, adaptogens, tips, tricks, hugs, and nugs of information to support and nourish the most important system in our body.
And it's a lot of soul work, a lot of love, a lot of discipline, and meditation. I'm using my life work as a testimony to others to learn how they can be their own hero and then go help heal the world.
And we are, as nurses, the game changers.
I mean, that just makes me want to go into a team huddle, like immediately. Yes, Team Greeners.
Oh man. Welcome to the show, everyone. This is the Green Nurse Podcast, and I am excited, so excited to be here with my girl, Green Nurse Carey Lee from Iowa, Daily 5 to Thrive. We're going to have a fun show for you guys today. But before we get started into our hugs and nugs, I want Carey Lee just to say hello and just let everyone know where she's from and what she's doing in the community, not only as a cannabis nurse, a psychedelic nurse guide, but also a healer in the community, really decreasing stigma, advocacy, and activism. So she's just amazing. But here, really quickly, before she gets started, I don't know if you guys have seen our new website, because what I'm going to do actually is pull up the website and show you where you can actually find all of us nurses. So here we are, holisticcaring.com, Cannabis Medicine Simplified. We're here to bring you that hope and inspiration for growth and healing. And so when you go to the website, the part that I really like about this is that if you're interested in joining the network, join our network here, right? So it's the Green Nurses that are Holistic Caring. What you do is you actually come to the website and you click on there and join in. So to find the different nurses, you're going to go straight to holisticcaring.com team. So we have Elizabeth Mack, the CEO and founder. We have Tasha Jackson, Vice President of the Holistic Caring Programs. And of course, there you are, your favorite OG, Vice President of Nursing. And then we have, look at this, we have all of these other amazing nurses. And then we also have our affiliate nurses that have completed our programs. But I want to pull up my girl, Carey Lee. Here she is. She's a nurse supervisor at with one of the Green Nurses at Holistic Caring. And here she is. All right, Carey Lee.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for having me on today, Sherri. My name is Carey Lee Lure. I am a registered nurse here in Iowa. I am a green nurse, a supervisor at Green Nurse Holistic Caring. I help mentor other nurses. And then I also connect patients to Iowa's medical cannabidiol program. I teach about the endocannabinoid system and how to choose products in a effective manner and choose them safely so that they can use them to achieve their health goals. I'm also a director of nursing with Keta MD, a certified nurse guide for ketamine, and ultimately a stigma fighter for all of these wonderful modalities that need to be brought to the forefront
Yes.
so that we can help as many people as we possibly can. So,
Yay, Carey Lee.
yay!
Good stuff. So happy, happy, happy to have you part of our platform for sure. You're doing amazing work in the community. And, today we're going to do a little bit of gratitude. And I'm grateful for you and all the cannabis nurses that are out there that have really worked at decreasing stigma, not only for themselves, as Elizabeth says, is we're using our life's work, our healing journey to do what? To bring you that hope, that inspiration, that growth, and that healing. Because why? We all deserve to feel good.
Yes, we do.
All right. So, as you know, when we start off our day, we like to start off, we've got the Daily 5 to Thrive, which is Carey Lee. She's created this amazing program for nurses and for professionals and also for patients. And then Denise has her energized living, and she has the 3 P's, which is prayer and positivity, protection, and play. So we're going to do a little prayer, positivity, and really kind of set the day for today. It's the day before Thanksgiving, and we're going to pull a card. What do you got going on there for us, Carey Lee?
Okay, we've got the Power of Surrender card. So this helps us to just kind of reprogram some of those nasty story loops in our minds. And I've got this deck is split in 3 now. Pick a number 1 through 3.
Ooh, I don't know. I'm going to pick 1 because I'm thinking right now about the universal law of divine oneness that connects us all together. So I'm ready. Number 1, what does 1 have to say?
Okay, here we go. Surrender denial. Accept people and
Ooh,
situations exactly as they are without denying the difficulties. Then you can see things clearly and make the best decisions. Okay.
wow. All right, story time. What do you got going on here, girl? This was for you and me.
This is totally for me. This is totally for me. I think it's just really for me, as with so many of us that are people pleasers, or we think we can save everyone, heal everyone. If I just love this person enough, they're gonna, you know what I mean? Um, for me personally, this just means clarity, and that it's not my responsibility to save everybody. That's
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
yeah,
You can only help those that want to help themselves, so to speak.
yeah.
So it's really going back to that nursing, assessing for readiness to learn, and
Yes.
um, so yeah, this is very meaningful. What a good card. What's it mean to you, Cher?
Well,
Surrender denial.
I love that. So surrender to denial. The first thing, it's interesting. You think about what we do as humans, right? We look outside of ourselves. So the first thing that came to my mind was who's denying what in their reality, right? Instead of bringing it to me, and that's what you really need to do is you need to look in. I went out and I started thinking about all the people that are in denial about cannabis as medicine, about psychedelics for helping people, about so many different things that people are doing in their lives. And so, being a stigma fighter, so that first came to me, about having people who have the cognitive dissonance and they're in denial about plant medicines. And then it's like,
Yeah.
really surrender denial. So how do I turn that around? I bring it back in. I need to accept people exactly for who they are, for wherever they may be on their process at this moment in time. It is not my job to convince anyone of anything, right? All
Mhm.
truth is truth, but all truth is not your truth or my truth because truth is based on experience. And our experiences and our truths change over time because that's definitely one thing we can count on is change.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Woo!
really
Good.
good. And the
Good
other thing
stuff.
too, one of the other things I love this peace begins with me. And it's just a reminder, right? Go in, go in. If something's outside of you, go in and flip it around. Have that conversation with yourself. I'll tell you, one of the things that I've learned through COVID and my agoraphobia was for me to get really, really comfortable with who I am and what's going on between these ears. So one of the things I love to do too, Carey Lee, is you love to do, and you've taught about this with your daily 5 to Thrive, is gratitude journaling.
It's a
So
big, it's a major, that gratitude journaling was a major game changer for me during my mental health journey.
yeah,
I really needed help turning around the negative thinking in my mind. And so I had struggled with writing, like physically writing, because the thoughts come so quickly. I can't get them, and I could never go back and read it. So
right,
I actually have
right.
an app. It's called the Gratitude Journal app. It's a free app.
Nice.
You can just download it on, from Apple Store or Google Store. But I love it because I just go in every morning and I really pretty much, try to just pick 3 things every morning. And I don't care if it's something as simple as, wow, I'm just so grateful to be alive, or I'm grateful for the smell of the coffee, or I don't know. I mean,
Mm,
eventually over time, when you stay true to the practice and you do it daily, you really start to see the good in everything. And that
yeah.
is where the turning point
Yes.
in progress and health really truly begins, when you really truly see the beauty and the good in everything. Because
Yes.
it's really quite miserable to see the yucky in everything. It's just,
I know. I know. Right.
no.
And there it is too, there's always a flip side. We talk about that quarter. It's the one, but there's 2 sides to it, right? The side of love and the side of fear, the side of spirit, the side of ego. It's that dichotomy, that polarity, sometimes that cognitive dissonance that exists between people, but we always have the opportunity to flip it and switch it. And one of
Yes.
the great things that helps with that is what? Cannabis. Inhale, Ananda. So I got to tell you really quickly, I did this without saying a word and put it on TikTok. I said nothing. There was no cannabis. There was no smoke. It was just the motions. Oh
And
yeah, they took it.
they
Oh yeah,
they took
they took it down.
no, did they really? I
So,
mean,
anyways, beyond that point, cannabis really truly helps us to process emotion. I did a show yesterday with Jill Woodworth of TSC Talks. She's a podcaster and she's an amazing woman. She has 4 children. 3 of her children have a specific, you know, uh, chronic illness, a genetic disorder called TSC, and I can't even. It's tubular or something. I never even heard of it. So let's just put it that way. It's very, very rare. And so we came on last night and we were talking about, cannabis and psychedelics and plant medicines and stigma and spirituality, because I guess there was some dialogue that was out in the community that people that use cannabis only reach a particular level of consciousness. Okay. So yeah, there was like this stigma around that you really can't evolve. I'm like, yeah, you can. You can. So we just had this discussion, and it's like, here it is. It's the same thing. Meeting people where they're at. You can't change people's minds. People might be in denial, but so what do? Is we share our truth, we share our stories, we decrease stigma, and literally we can't convince anyone of anything. So what can we do? Be that power of example. Let
yes,
our journeys show and demonstrate that cannabinoid therapeutics and cannabis can be used for multiple different reasons. And
yeah,
spirituality is one of them. Bottom line,
absolutely.
it's been used for thousands, millions of years. And we presented at the American Cannabis Nurses Association in 2020, that very topic. I presented for an hour, and I could have presented for like 4 hours. And the topic was spirituality as the root of cannabis care. So, anyways, with that being said, the next thing that we're going to step into today, because it's really important before the holidays, is safety and consumption. Okay, there's a lot of different things that we're going to talk about, but the first thing I want to talk about is this. Here we go. Happy Hempy Hump Day. The importance of medicating with clean medicine. So here's a story. Have you ever opened up an over-the-counter medication at CVS or Walgreens and have ever seen mold, animal hair, or feathers in it? So imagine going to the pharmacy, picking a prescription up or an over-the-counter, right? Just think of dispensaries, caregivers. No, this happened to a patient of ours. Okay, so one of her caregivers who lives on a farm, has animals, has vegetables, has chickens, has, and that's okay. Farm life is farm life. But the bottom line is this: if you are making medicine, you need to make sure that it's clean. So the first package that she opened up, I think she got a quarter pound from her caregiver, trim, shake, flour, and so the first package that she tried, she coughed a lot. So she waited a few days. That can sometimes be normal, specific strains, terpenes, if it's too
Right.
hot, so you
Right.
evaluate it. So
Yeah.
she waited a few days. She cleaned her equipment, cleaned her bongs and her pipes and her rigs, and made sure, just pretty much double checking everything. The second time she tried it, she coughed and she got nauseated. The third time she tried, she coughed and her airway became tight and she started dry heaving and vomiting. And she remained nauseated for the rest of the day. Now, bottom line, was this the cannabis or was it not the cannabis? What was it? What was it? So we had to investigate. So what she did was she further inspected each of the packages, opened them all up, put the cannabis on the counter, and what she found was mold, animal hairs, and feathers. This is dangerous. And basically, I'm not here to shame anyone at all, but I'm here to really educate people that clean medicine is of the utmost importance. We would
Yeah.
not be going, just think about it. If you went to a dispensary, and dispensaries had hairs and mold. Well, some dispensaries I've heard you have mold. But the bottom line is clean medicine is of the utmost importance. Caregivers need to understand, even if you're a new caregiver, you really need to understand cultivation and growth and curing, extract, all of it. It's essential. The last thing, and caregivers go into this just like we do as nurses because we care and we want to help people. But if you're new to cannabis growing, take some tips, tricks, hugs, and nugs from the people that are out there, that are expert cultivators and growers. And I'm just going to say, Jessie Lynn Dolan of Nurse Grown Organics, what she does is just amazing. I'm going to actually pull up in a second some of our Green Nurse approved products in our marketplace, and this is why we're doing this, because it's important to test for purity, potency, contaminants, residual solvents, cannabinoids, and terpenes. So Carey Lee, have you had any issues
I mean,
with unclean medicine?
all I can really, because of where I'm at geographically, I don't have legal access to flower per se, but I can say that, um, you know, dealing with black market situations, this is one of the biggest issues with it. You don't know what you're getting. You know what I
Right.
mean? And
Yeah.
I mean, I can just say like going from utilizing stuff from the dispensaries versus, the old school way, it's hands down. I refuse to go the old school way. Like if I
Yeah.
don't know what I'm getting, I'm not
Getting.
putting it in my body. And that's
Yeah.
just me. I mean, imagine like a patient that doesn't have legal access to that product, and they're desperate and going on the black market and smoking stuff that has mold or pesticide residue, and they're going to get
Yeah.
sicker. So,
Yeah.
um,
So if you think
so
about
yeah,
this too,
can cannabis be pesticide free?
well, yeah, there you
I
go.
mean,
Can it?
high quality cannabis is free of insects, mold, and mildew. If clean cannabis producers are using absolutely no substances to prevent these from attacking your cannabis, how exactly are growers keeping them away from your beautiful buds?
Right.
Um, they can grow in a controlled environment,
Yep.
indoors. This allows the producer to like regulate what's going on in their grow rooms, but this obviously heightens the risk of crop loss if pests do get into the room.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah, the law doesn't always require the disclosure of using approved pesticides.
Right.
So just because something is organic or is clean green, doesn't mean that they don't use some sort of approved product on the plant.
Right. Right.
And this was said by an individual last name Friesen.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. Applying pesticides during the vegetative state of the plant's life is a common practice.
Yeah.
And hopefully the pesticides don't remain on the plant
Yeah.
as it begins to flower and
Yeah.
produce the final product that ends up, on the shelves. So,
Right. Yeah. So you think about this too. So, what does it mean to be pesticide free? It's not as simple as it reads. You know, consumers need to dig deeper into the brands
Yep.
that make these products and claim it, right? So you think about, you know, people are making great medicines, people are selling these medicines, but truly, who is interpreting how to use these medicines for patients? And that's what we do. So, as we know, the first rule of thumb is to do no harm. And it's an unregulated marketplace with limited knowledge and lots of opportunity, you know, and there's bound to be factors that influence, you know, people's choices. So, the FDA did spot checks and found that only 30% of CBD labels were accurate. So we truly feel here, the green nurses at Holistic Caring, you know, we've taken on the duty to vet quality medicines because we do care deeply about clients' health, safety, and goals to achieve the best possible outcome. You know, the other thing that's really important too is we're nurses and we're also patients. So we've been on the other side of the bed. We know what it's like. And just like I said, I've experienced cannabis that has not been, you know, has not been up to par. So it's really, really important that, like we said, that you get your products tested. Good manufacturing practices, looking at lab results, purity and potency, you know, looking at the total milligrams because they can range, getting the dosing, you know, looking what the dosing milligrams is per ml. Purity, it must be freed from pesticides, molds, heavy metals, contaminants. Their certificate of analysis with cannabinoid and terpene profiles and have all this results. The USDA certified organic and flower derived. So we really care. So if you go to our website and you go to the marketplace, you can see marketplace up here. You click on that. It's going to bring you to the CBD marketplace. And here we are showing you and demonstrating that we are vetting these products. And then you can hit shop now. You go to shop now. Let's see if it pulls up. Here we go. So all of
Nice.
these companies here are completely 100% been vetted by nurses, pharmacists, and we have interviewed each of these companies and really, really excited, you know, to be able to offer Green Nurse approved. So, you know, I'm going to give an example. I'm going to plug Nurse Grown here. We're going to pull her up. And I just want to show you what it looks like. So Nurse Grown Organics, she is clean green certified. You know, I've met her. She's amazing. Jamie Rollins, who I'm going to have on tomorrow, is in charge of the nursing program of the affiliates. So so here you go. So here we are. We're going to go to our store really quickly. And, you know, she's going to, here we go, cannabis products you can trust.
Yes,
Okay, so she
look,
talks
big,
all
big
about
fan
this.
of Jessie Lynn's Nurse
Yeah.
Grown Organics. I use them
Yep.
myself personally. It's one of my most favorite product lines to educate my
Yeah.
patients on. Absolutely.
So let me just see if I can find, here we go. Oh, that one's coming
Ooh, I
soon.
was gonna say, is that the new CBG?
Yeah, they just launched a new CBG product,
Ba-boom.
1,500 milligrams. Yes, and they
Nice.
just got, let me just find one other thing because I want to show you. Let me
I'm
find
gonna
where's
have
the
to
other
give that a little
tinctures.
order. Maybe not for this time of
Okay,
year, but
so here we go. So here we go. We have full spectrum oil, and here we go. We have a certificate of analysis. This
yes.
is important, people. All medicine that you buy should have a certificate of analysis, and it breaks everything down for you. You know, the ratio of CBD to THC is a 30-to-1. You know, she looks at cannabinoid profiles, terpene profiles, and then, you know, this is just amazing. Look at
I'd like to
this.
say, state of Iowa, the Office of Medical Cannabidiol Board, please consider allowing your Iowa patients access to the COAs of our product lines in Iowa because they currently do not have access to those COAs, and it makes absolutely zero sense to me.
Yeah, I agree.
Everybody wants to blame the dispensary like they're trying to hide something. It's like, no, they're legally bound not to release these lab reports. It's
Yeah.
why.
Yeah. Yeah. And so the other thing that's
Anyway,
important too is, you know, safe consumption over the holidays. You know, that whole start low, go slow.
yeah.
Just, you know, here it is. Just because it's, you know, the eve of Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving is tomorrow, don't let all of your health and wellness tools out the window. You know what I mean? You can still have fun and you can still be safe. And I'm going to bring up a safety measure right now. Something that I did, which wasn't so smart, but I'm a human being and I wasn't paying attention. So I've got 3 vapes with me because I'm going to be going in a place where I'm not going to be able to inhale the flower that I like to inhale. One of them is CBD. I know that. Now I have two here. One of them is Delta 8 and one of them is CBD, CBG, and CBN. I don't know which is which. Okay. So crucial that you can put a sticker. So this is a battery that lights up the vape pen. So what, for patients, I'm going to do this to myself is you get a sticker and you put a sticker on the bottom and you put exactly what it is. CBD, even the particular, you can put it right on there. Now, don't put a permanent marker because then you're going to end up coloring off because you're going to change your cartridge. But, so what I'm going to do, since I don't know what these are, I'm not going to use them. I'm going to test them out later. And so that way I can be certain as to which one is Delta 8 and which one is CBD, CBG, and CBN. And I like I said, my Delta 8, it just depends upon what I'm going to do. Delta 8, as you know, we've discussed it before, is 1/3 the strength of Delta 9. And I like it. It's not as intense. It's kind of a little floaty, but I'm not impaired and I can function, pretty well. So yeah, do you have any safety tips?
You know what? I'd like to talk about cleaning.
Yes.
Cleaning your equipment. I literally just cleaned all of my durable medical equipment because it's just like I want to keep my respiratory health pristine, especially during this time of the year when we're dealing with all kinds of yucky colds and viruses and all that good stuff. So the importance of keeping that clean is really huge. I think we've got some tips and tricks on that here.
Yes. What do we got, Carey Lee?
So, really, what are we doing with, I love this little thing to clean our bongs and our water pipes and our oneies. We should always brush oneies. Remember the little batters boxes? That's my little one
hitters.
I'm old school like that. What can I say? Water, salt, alcohol, brush. Super easy. You don't have to buy expensive cleaning products because guess what? Primary ingredient more than likely the alcohol anyway, right, Cher?
Yeah.
So first thing you want to do is dump all the junk out of your bong. And rinse it really, really good several times with warm water, hot water preferably, whatever your hands can tolerate. And then take the bowls and the down stem and place those in a separate bag. The second thing you want to do at that point is add the alcohol and the salt to both the bong and that bag that has the other pieces in it. If it's a stubborn stain, you're just going to want to let it sit, let the alcohol do the work. It really does all the work for you. You don't have to bang it and shake it crazy. You don't want to break your pieces. Just let it sit and marinate for a little bit, right? I've done that before. Like all of a sudden, I'm like, clean that.
Right.
Not good. And then, what was I going to say? When you're ready, you can add that coarse salt. Like a coarse salt really is like your scrubbing tool. So if you add salt into the bag, into the bong, and you're able to then really cover the openings of the bong, like using a towel or your hand, anything to kind of seal off wherever the holes are. Otherwise, you're going to get lots of liquids, right? Just shake that up a little bit. And the coarse salt with that alcohol will help scrub. Right. If you have any tough, stains around the base, that's where the brush, you're going to put the brush in. I have a nice little brush that I can actually bend it and flex it. So if I need to, anyway, I should probably have the bong here to show you.
Right. No, but you know what though? But that's good. We can, tomorrow morning.
There you go. Do a little demo,
I'll tell you, I might as well plug that right now. Let's pull this up.
Yeah, plug away.
Let's see here. Oh boy. Okay, so here we go. Share. The first thing I'm going to share is tomorrow morning. I want you all to tune in. I'm going to be with Green Nurse Jamie Rollins. I'm going to take a ride down to Connecticut and spend some time with her and her family. Going to spend the night before I go to my mom's house. But we're going to go live from Connecticut, right from her house at 9 a.m. And we're actually going to do a wake and bake with you all and answer any questions. So it's a Q&A. with Green Nurse Jamie Rollins. Jamie Rollins is, a nursing supervisor with us at Holistic Caring. She is also the chief nursing officer at Keta MD. She's a psychedelic nurse guide. She is an amazing woman. And so she and I are going to be on, and we're going to answer questions. Anything that you want to know about cannabinoid therapeutics, psychedelics, and consumption. This is what we want to do. We want to teach, educate, and provide information. It's all about safety, and we want you guys to be safe.
Love it.
So let me just pull.
Great show.
It's going to be fun. I know, right? Awake and bake. So here we go. Tomorrow, I want to give a big shout out and thanks to my girl, Elizabeth Mack and Tasha Jackson. They've created these amazing, amazing programs for health professionals, providers, nurses, and patients. So what we do is we have a community and a network, holisticcaring.com. We put up the website. Come into the community. The community's free. It's uncensored. It's off of social media. It's private. Introductory to Cannabis course is complimentary. Monthly webinars are complimentary. Free patient portal and support group. And she wrote a book called Cannabis for Health, Become a Coach. There's no one more important than you guys, and y'all need to become your own health coach. And so with these programs that she's created, what she's doing is she's having a sale. So 50% off all programs with the code THANKS. So when you go to the website, there's pathways for patients and pathways for providers, all providers. And you can click on either one of those and it's going to show you the different programs. So there's CBD for wellness, there's a health coaching program, there's a licensed health professional program. And then there's all of these other self-paced programs that are symptom targeted or disease targeted. So cannabinoid therapeutics and cancer, cannabis and migraines, cannabis and autoimmune, cannabis and pain, cannabis and autism. So they're completely 100% separated and individualized. So you can choose and pick what program you want to utilize to start your learning process. But in the meantime, come and join us in the community. We are really happy to have people there. People are really excited to be there, and they're learning a lot, learning a lot. So we've got that going on. So if anyone is out there, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us. We've got Deb there. Deborah is out there. Thank you, Deb.
Hey, Deb.
Yeah, really great to have you here. We are so grateful, for this opportunity. I'm just going to, and we're going to do more gratitude tomorrow. I'm so grateful for this plant because there were so many Thanksgivings where I couldn't eat anything, literally nothing. Seriously, it was horrible. And so, and then my food aversion came because I just didn't know how food was going to interact. So cannabis has healed my gut to the point where I can eat anything. Now, it's not to say that eating anything is good for me, but how amazing is it that I can have little bites of stuff just to wet my palate, whereas before I would gag. Okay.
Aww.
I would smell.
Oh, that's miserable.
Yes.
I'm so thank you, plant medicine.
Thank you, plant medicine. And that's the other thing is decreasing stigma around inhaling. It's okay to inhale.
Yes, it is.
We're gonna show you how to inhale and show you how it's okay. And really want to eliminate that fear because people that aren't able to eat, that have that intractable nausea and vomiting, that have the food aversion for whatever reason on their, that with their medical condition, we want you to know it's okay.
It is okay. And I'd like to please kindly ask everyone to stop being so judgmental about how others choose to intake their cannabis use. You don't know what they're going through and what they're battling with. And it's hard enough as it is to be trying to go through the healing process, let alone to have people questioning you and judging you on your methods, your preferred method of use. So be kind.
Absolutely. Be kind. Above all else, be kind. And remember, you healing you heals others. It's about living your best life and helping others do the same. We love you so much, Carey Lee. Thank you so much for joining me. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. And we will see you
everyone
tomorrow morning. And this is another reason why we do what we do.
We're here to educate and empower patients to make choices that are best for them. We're also here to decrease stigma around what it means to feel good and be high. Hence the H for hope, I for inspiration, G for growth, and H for healing. The Green Nurse is a holistic cannabis nurse that teaches on the endocannabinoid system and the safe utilization of cannabis and other progressive tools to help people reach a better quality of life.
I was cannabis agnostic for many, many years. And you know, the more research I did, the more I discovered that cannabis is this amazing medicine.
I was told that I had a 4-stage pancreatic cancer. The doctor really told me he couldn't do anything else. He gave me her name and she called me and she came to my house. She started to give me cannabis. My oncologist was puzzled because he couldn't find the cancer anymore.
All of the learning that we get comes from the Green Nurses Group, comes from their support, comes from their guidance. I trust everything that she says.
Simply meet people where they're at. The plant doesn't, stress to grow, so we don't stress to share it. We're healing people.
Cannabis has been used as a medicine for tens upon thousands of years. Here's the big message. Cannabis needs to be federally legal. We need to have laws that are the same across all 50 states that allow access to anyone and everyone who wants to utilize this powerful medicine.